Can you remember your first day at the school? Still, I could remember my first day at the school. It's an unforgettable thing in my life. Early morning, I got up happy to go to school. I got ready happily. I prepared all my bags and my uniform before the time. And I went to school. In the first day, I had to go to school with my mother, as my father was an army officer. So he was not at home. So I had to go to school with my mother and my younger sister. As well as my young sister was about 2 weeks at that time. She was so little and she started to cry. So my mother had to come back home. Then I had to enter to the class alone. I was little bit afraid at that time because there were so many big buildings and there were so many people in school. Somehow I found my class and I entered to the class. There was my class teacher and there were so many students in the class. I sat down nearby a student. And my class teacher welcomed all of us to the class very well, and she was very kind towards us. I met so many friends in that classroom. There was an amazing welcome ceremony on behalf of us. The ceremony was organized by the principals and teachers, elder sisters and brothers of my school. I was really happy to see that type of enchanting and attractive welcome ceremony. I could enjoy so many dances and so many songs, as well as we got so many advices from the principal sir also at that ceremony. After that ceremony, I went to the class. And in the first day, we didn't write on books. Because in the first day, my class teacher explained us about what are the places in school and people who are in school and what are the rules and regulations that should be followed when we are in school. Because we are new to school and we should learn about them. And after that, my class teacher brought us to the principal's office to visit him. Lots of people say the principal sir is a rough man and always he has a cane with his hands. As well as most of people really afraid to get the principal. So I also was little bit afraid to get the principal. Somehow I got there. The principal sir called us very kindly and lovingly, as well as he gave us some books as presents. Actually at that time I was really happy, as well as my friends also were really happy. After that we came back to the classroom. After a few minutes a bell rang. Then my class teacher said, "My dear students, this is interval and in this period you could have your lunch and you could play." Then I had my lunch with my friends and we went to the playground to play. In the playground I had to meet an accident. When I was playing with my friend, my eye was stuck with a stone. I noticed something is stuck with my eye. Suddenly I sat down middle of the playground and one of my friends saw what happened to me and she came nearby me and asked, "Samadhi, what happened to you?" And her face looked like afraid and she said, "Samadhi, blood from your eye." Then I was surprised and I was unable to believe what she is saying. I touched my eye and I noticed blood from my eye. I was very afraid and I didn't know what should I do. Then other friends also came to nearby me. One of my friends rushed to the classroom and told about what happened to me to the teacher. Then teacher also rushed nearby me. Her face also looked like afraid. After a few minutes the principal also came. He also was afraid. There were so many people around me and they were looking at me like looking at an alien. I was quite afraid and I started to cry. Somehow within few minutes my class teacher brought me to the hospital. At the hospital still I was crying. The doctor said, "My dear daughter, don't cry," and he washed my eye and do some treatments to my eye. I had to admit it in the hospital about a week. My mother, my father and my other family members were very sad and very afraid about me. As well as my mother and my father were unable to stay with me when I am in the hospital because my father was not at home and my sister was very little and my mother should be nearby her. So I had to admit it in the hospital with my grandmother. And at that time lots of things came to my mind. All of you know the eye is quite important to us. Without eyes we can't see. Then I supposed, how could I see with only one eye? Then how could I do my work well? Then how could I do my studies well? And lots of things came to my mind. Sometimes I cried. Somehow about after a week I could see with two of my eyes. I was really happy. As well as I could go back home about a week. My mother and my father also were very happy about it. However, I was unable to go about 2 weeks because The doctor asked me to stay at home about a week to rest. So I was unable to go to school about 2 weeks. I was very sad about it. My other friends went to school, but I was unable. My other friends wrote on books and they played with their friends in school, but I was unable. So I was really sad about it. Sometimes I cried and I asked from my mother to go to school, but then she said, "My dear daughter, you could go to school after few days." So somehow after about 2 weeks, I could go to school. I was really happy about it. I went to school very happily. It's an unforgettable thing in my life. And thank you so much.